Hello everyone, welcome back to Glitz and Glitter. I have the last mold that I have for this month from Into Resin, and it is called the Sexy Lips, I think Trinket tray or jar, or I'm not sure the wording of it, but look at this, so sparkly. Inside both of them are like sparkle gemstones. So we're going to try this today. This one came with this insert, and this insert goes upside down this way. That's what they're telling me. I had to email them because I didn't know what this was for because it was not in the instructions. So if you get something like this really super thick, obviously it's too thick for any kind of inlay, and it matched perfectly. So you just kind of float it in your resin to take up some of that space for the lid. So that's the lid and this is the jar. So I'm kind of nervous about this. I have floated one other thing and it stayed pretty well. So I'm not too concerned, but I don't want to have to keep moving it. I don't know. It fits right in there though. So I just don't want it hitting the edge. That's what I'm concerned about. You can always pour it completely full if you want to. I don't know how it would fit like that. So we're going to do it the way that they want you to do it. I have picked out Sugalite, and it's just a red alcohol ink. And I want it transparent because I want to see all those little facets shine through. So I don't know how much this holds. I'm going to just guess 6 ounces with this in there. I don't know. I wish I didn't want to put water in here to, I didn't want the water to ruin it or wait for it to dry or all that. So I'm going to start with 6. And if I need more, then I'm going to have to try to match my alcohol inks. Let me get some resin mixed up and pour. Hopefully, I mean, this might be a really quick video, but I do see in here, there's tiny little perfect circular parts. And they look the perfect size for a rhinestone just dying to go in there. They're also in here. So I'm sure they're right along this edge. They're perfect circles. So I'm sure I'm going to be embellishing with some kind of contrasting color. I just don't want a pair of red lips. You guys know I'm going to do something completely different after it's unmolded. I can't just stop at that. Let me get some resin mixed up. I don't know which one I'm going to use, but you will see it on the screen here in a second. Be right back. I actually did 7 ounces because I got nervous at the last second. So I chose the epoxy resin because it's a medium viscosity and I don't really want bubbles forming in all these little spots. I do spray alcohol in these molds. You guys should not do that. They do not recommend it, but I don't use my molds that many times. So just once or twice isn't going to hurt it. But if you're going to continue to make these things and sell them and you want your mold to last longer, don't spray your alcohol in there. So do as I say, not as I do. So I'm just shaking up my alcohol ink, and I don't want it obviously opaque, but I want plenty of red in here. So it'll be a nice deep red, but still transparent. And then I'm going to throw it through the vacuum chamber to get all the bubbles out. Actually, I don't think you're going to see bubbles. I think I'm going to skip that today. All those facets on there, I really don't think you're going to see any bubbles. So I do want to mix this really well. I rarely use red, so I had to go through a whole bunch of reds to see which one was the best. And this seems to be a pretty red for lipstick. Maybe I will throw it through the chamber just in case. Although I don't see any bubbles in there. This is shocking. And you can test your color on a paper towel for the... Whoops, I didn't need to do that much. Let's take that back. I'm going to pour a few more drops in. I did good of it. I gave it a good squeeze. I wouldn't say drops. And then we're just going to pour it in, let it cure. I do have to figure out that insert. I think I'm overthinking it, and I think it's going to be easier than I expect. It should be. I mean, I don't know. Well, I think we're going to go with that. Let me grab my alcohol. Again, do not spray in your handmade molds. Whether I made your mold, if you bought from me, or if you're buying from Into Resin handmade molds, or somebody else making handmade molds, don't spray alcohol if you're going to use them multiple times, because these are very expensive, and you do not want to do anything to jeopardize that. But I'm always bringing you guys new content, so I can't keep doing the same molds for you, or you would get bored. So I just poured like half. Let me see what this does. I'm probably going to overflow it. Oh goodness. Yes, that's too much. Ah, see? Get out, get out, get out, get out, get out. Goodness gracious. I need to get some out of there. Oh my gosh. Half is too much. Let me just try to clean this mess up. Thank God for the paper underneath. I could just get rid of it. So I need to grab a paper towel. Sorry guys, give me a moment. And scoop some of this out. So I clearly mixed up way too much resin, so talk about extras. You're gonna get them today. I'm gonna pour, or I'm gonna take out more than I think I need to take out. And let's try this again. Let me just wipe this up. I don't want a complete disaster to clean up later. All right. Trying to pop these bubbles. Come on, pop. Okay. Let's try this again. So, yeah. Okay, I still need to take some more out, but I think I'm just going to wipe it this time. What a mess. I hate making messes. Actually, I'll just put it back into the jar until it stops overflowing, and then I will position it where I want it, because it seems to not be just floating anywhere. You guys, I have so much leftover resin. Oh my gosh. All right, well, what a disaster. Has anybody else tried these? I haven't seen anyone do it on YouTube with these inserts yet. And if you have seen it, did they do the same thing I just did? They're still like coming out. All right, well, I'm going to do this one and then figure out my extras. This one has some ridges down underneath at the lip of it, down on the bottom. So I just want to push my little stick down in there, so to alleviate, hopefully, any potential bubbles that might form there. I'm just going to dome that. Possibly I did too much. Of course I did. This took only 3.5 ounces for the whole jar. So I have 3.5 ounces left. I'm gonna have to go through my molds and see what I can make. I am definitely not making 1,000 keychains. All right, that's it for now. I will see you on demold. It's cured, you guys. It's still warm. You know I can't wait. I did make some extras and I did unmold them because I wanted to finish them. So I did the little moon. Here's the little moon handmade mold. Searching for my words. Handmade mold. So there's the moon in the red. And then I made with my little flower mold, this one here, 2 keychains. Because I had enough to do 2. Now, remember when I said I'm not going to take the bubbles out in the vacuum chamber? Well, you can see them in all this resin. I don't know that you'll see them in here. I should have vacuum chambered it before I poured my extras. But regardless, they're still really shiny and really pretty. So those are those. And then I used this mold. And now I'm realizing the mold has issues because it's happened. I've only made this like 4 times. And I thought it was me, but it's always in the same spot. So make sure you check your castings when you get your molds, because always along this edge, it's always dull and it looks like watermarks. And then over here, there's a few spots. So they're always there no matter what. Of course, the bubbles are mine because I didn't take them out. Now, everybody told me there's this little hole on the side here for a pearl. So what do? I put a pearl in it today to try it out. I unmold this and the pearl was nowhere to be found. It's not in the resin. It didn't sink. It didn't pop out of the mold. I have no clue what happened to my pearl, so I had to glue another one in there. So yeah, unfortunately, there's some issues with my mold. So I really can't be making this one to give away because there are flaws in the resin. So it just comes out really, really dull and I don't know how to shine it up. So that's that. So watch your molds. When you get them, try them. And if you have a problem, I'm sure they would take them back. Okay, so let's try to get these out. It is a little bit warm, so hopefully I don't bend them. Oh, that one came out pretty easy. Even warm. There's the bottom. Okay, so this has little raised bubbles. Oh, you know what? They're not little holes for rhinestones. They are built-in rhinestones. That's what those are. I was looking at it upside down. So I do need to trim this edge. So that's the bottom of the jar. Nice and sparkly. Now we need to take out the insert. I don't know if I can unmold this one right now because it's very soft. Let's pop the insert out. It definitely helps save on some resin. Oh, maybe I can pop it out. There we go. Look at that. So what you could do, and I think I will do, is maybe color those built-in rhinestones a different color. So there's a few, let's see how it fits. So it doesn't fit perfectly because, I mean, it fits okay. My little lips, I think I would have to trim. I have to trim this a little bit and it'll fit perfectly, but because the lips were not, see how that's a little thicker than this side? So you do have to be very mindful of this in here. Somehow squish it over. So if I'm gonna trim this when it's completely solid, that way it'll fit perfectly onto the bottom piece. Okay, so I need to let this cool before I do anything with it. So I will be back as soon as it's cooled down. So I took my gold chrome marker. I think these come in a set of three or four, I'm not sure. And I outlined the edge of the shell. And I outlined the edge of the moon. And then I just took it on the lid and the base, and I kind of colored in what is the fake rhinestones just to outline the lips, and then the same thing on the base. It sits pretty good. I did trim a little bit. I mean, nobody would know if you didn't tell them unless they're gonna like study it, the making of it, but it does overhang just a little bit right there, but it's not too bad. So that is the lip jar, you guys. I did paint the two little stars inside. These are all raised too if you wanted to, but I didn't really have a fine tip gold pen in this color, so I didn't do that. So I will get you some final pictures. Thanks for joining me today. That's our time for today. I will see you all tomorrow. I hope you have a blessed day. Stick around for those photos. Bye, everyone.